how to teach empathy to middle schoolers. That's like the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? Because if you've ever worked with middle schoolers, you know that they're focused on themselves like 150% of the time, aren't they? They're worried about what they're wearing. They're worried about what other people are thinking about them, what their social status is, or maybe they're not thinking of that. Maybe they're thinking of what their school performance is like, or their relationship status is and stuff like that. And the last thing that's on their mind is thinking about other people. So I think instead of approaching it right from a raw sense of like how to teach empathy to a middle schooler, because I mean, that's easy. You can teach any concept to a middle schooler. They're smart. If you explain it in different ways, they'll understand what it is. But that's not the goal. The goal is to actually reframe it in your own mind as the person who is the facilitator. How can you make a middle schooler prioritize or want to be empathic or empathetic? That's the $1,000,000 question. How do you change their behavior? Not how do you help them to understand empathy, not how do you teach empathy, but how do you get them to buy in or to commit to being empathic to one another, because that's the $1,000,000 question. So here's what I would pose. Really, and this goes with any social and emotional learning competency or any kind of social skill or success skill that you're trying to teach a young person, help them to see the value in it. You got to think through the lens of what is important to a middle schooler. And what is important to a middle schooler? A lot of times it's social status, isn't it? Whether you're popular or not, or whether a middle schooler would admit that that's important to them or not, the name of the game is like likes, followers, social influence, and connections. So let's circle around that. And because as I was giving it some thought, that's what empathy gets you, isn't it? More connections to more people, not only more friendships, but more meaningful friendships. So that's where I would start. If I'm ever trying to teach empathy or the value of empathy to a young person, I would show them the value of empathy is in, hey, do you want to make more connections with more people? Do you want to have more relationships with more people? Do you want to have more friends? Do you want to take the friendships that you have that might be kind of superficial, or it might not feel like a real friendship? Well, I'll teach you how to like make those friendships and like supercharge them, or I'll show you how to build relationships with other people. Well, the magic trick there is using empathy. And now you've piqued their interest, and now their ears are perking up and they're saying, okay, tell me more about this empathy thing. And heck, maybe I might try it out. So then you can start teaching all the skills of empathy, which are active listening, not judging, not responding, not trying to give advice, because we know middle schoolers love to give advice. But we teach them the real skills and how to build empathy and how to build an empathic kind of attitude and behavior about themselves. That's, if you're asking me, how to teach young people empathy, that'd be my answer.